Hi there, this is Kaushik Ranchod, and today I am sharing with you some fantastic, great news. This is going to have to do with green cards, so you'll want to stay tuned. I am an immigration attorney that represents clients throughout the 50 states worldwide. If you have any questions, you can post them below. Make sure you smash that like button, and let's get started. This video has to do with green card renewals, and this is specifically the situation because with COVID, processing times have just completely slowed down. Green card renewals are taking over a year to get. So what would happen a lot of times, people would file their renewals timely, but then what do you do in that situation? What do you do when your green card has been filed timely, yet it expires in the process? So first of all, we're going to go into the basics of when do you need to file for a green card renewal. If you're a lawful permanent resident, you need to replace your green card if your green card expires or will expire within 6 months. If your previous card was lost, stolen, or destroyed, or even mutilated. You received your green card before you were 14 and then you reached your 14th birthday. However, there is an exception to that, and that's unless your green card expires before your 16th birthday. You're a commuter and now you're actually taking up residence in the United States. You've been a permanent resident in the United States and you're now taking up commuter status. Your status was automatically converted to permanent resident status. You have a previous version of the permanent resident card. For instance, an example of this is the AR3 version. Or if your card simply contains incorrect information. Now, this is important. If you've legally changed your name, then you should actually also apply for a green card renewal. And sometimes USCIS sends out cards, it gets lost in the mail. If you never received it, you also need to file for a renewal as well. What about if you're a conditional permanent resident? What do you do? If you're a conditional permanent resident, you also need to apply for a green card renewal if your card was lost, stolen, or destroyed. Now, it's important to note that conditional, a lot of people sometimes get confused, and when they're applying to remove the conditions on their green card, they incorrectly file Form I-90. Don't do that, please! I see too many mistakes with that happening, and it is very serious if you do not file the removal of conditions on your conditional green card. You must do that on the correct Form I-751, not the I-90. So make sure you do not make that mistake. If you're a conditional resident, your card contains incorrect information, you'll need to replace that as well. Also, if you're a conditional resident, if your name contains incorrect information, the card contains incorrect information, or your card was lost or stolen, you'll need to replace it. Now, let's look at what the law says. Why do you even need to do a green card renewal? This is especially, like, I get this question as well from people who have expired green cards. Some people obtained green cards many years ago. The question comes up, why do I need to? Well, let's look at what the law says. Section 264 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, for short, we call that the INA for us lawyers out there. Every alien in the U.S. shall be issued a certificate of alien registration or an alien registration receipt card in such form and manner and at such time as shall be prescribed under regulations. And the law also goes on to say that you have to have your green card with you in your possession at all times. If you actually don't do that, that's actually a misdemeanor. Now, let's get to the fantastic, great news. As of September 26th, USCIS has extended the validity of your permanent resident card for up to 24 months if you filed Form I-90. Of course, your Form I-90 has to be properly filed in order to receive this. You had to file the renewal properly to get this extension. Previously, USCIS was only extending it for 12 months, and we would have this issue where even that sometimes wouldn't be enough time. So that's why they've extended it for 24 months, because USCIS is taking, as I mentioned earlier, so long. They're taking over a year, and you would be stuck in this process of having to get sometimes a temporary stamp if you had to travel, and it would be a headache for many of you who are filing your green card renewals. All right, well, where do you see this? They've updated the language on this for the extension of 24 months on your receipt notice. USCIS started putting this language on the receipt notice September 26th. You might be asking, how do you prove lawful status still? Well, what you do is you provide a copy of your expired green card with the receipt notice to show that you have continued status. What do you do if you no longer have your green card? You can request an appointment at your local field office in order to address that issue. So I hope this video helps you, if it serves you. I know this has been stressful for many of you with I-90s that have taken extreme amount of time, and this is a great move by USCIS. This is fantastic news, something to celebrate. So go celebrate and have an amazing day, because you are amazing, because by bettering yourself, you're bettering your family, and by bettering your family, you're bettering the world. Thank you. Bye for now.